I hope you don't hear that. Hey, everybody. Good to see you. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing really good. I have just got like a renewed sense of excitement since I decided to kind of, rebrand the channel a little bit and, do a little bit of the same, but also different things. And tonight's one of those nights that I really like, where I get to actually sit down and just talk to one of our viewers, one of our, friends of the channel, friends of the whole community. A lot of people have asked me to have Eat More Pizza Now on, and so he's gonna be here in just a minute. He's sitting in the backstage area waiting on me to introduce him. I did wanna just say hi to the chat a little bit and remind everybody that we are gonna we are going to, you know, um, encourage actually questions or comments in the chat for pizza. So, if you have a question, please put, a Q before it or write question or whatever, or a comment, put a C or comment or whatever you want to do. Just something that draws attention to it so that I see it because we don't have anybody in the back office yet. So we are uh, kind of just trying to catch that. I'm gonna I'm gonna try to go through there as I see things and star them, even if we don't answer them or ask them or whatever right then. So I'm gonna try to keep up with it that way. So I've just been rattling on. I'm assuming you all can hear me. I'm gonna flip down to the bottom. I don't see anybody saying that they can't hear me, so I'm assuming you can. So, okay. I am gonna speak to the chat real quick, and then we will bring out our guest, you guys. We'll probably go about an hour, maybe a little bit more, hour and a half or so. And it's just gonna be a real comfortable. I don't really have any set questions. We're just gonna kind of talk to him and get to know him and 'cause I don't know him as well as some of you do. So, I'm kinda looking forward to it. So, if there's little things that you all know that might, bring out something in him, that he would start talking about or whatever, feel free. We're just gonna see how it goes. Alright, so let's check the chat real quick. I am honestly gonna get this name wrong. I know it. Zephod Beeblebrox or something like that? I don't know. I'm sure I got it wrong, but it is really good to see you, and I'm always glad to see you. I've seen you quite a bit lately, so thank you. Thank you for being a member, actually. Merrily, thank you for being here. Thank you, as always, for being one of my mods. You have been a rock the last few days. You truly have. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me. Mischief, you always, I hope, know how much I love you. We spent how much time on the phone today, or actually, it wasn't phone, but anyway, you know, audio thing on the computer. So, I love you. I am so happy every time I see your name in the chat or anywhere. Indigo Twin, thank you so much for being here. And let's see here. Linda Reese, also good to see you. I've been seeing you quite a bit too. Thank you for being here. It really means a lot to me. The Journey 2020. Hello to you too. You're getting to be quite the regular, really. Thank you so much. Always glad to see you. Let's see here. Joe McCoy. There's my Joel. I just love Joel. I don't know if you know it or not, because you might actually be gone by the time I get around to reading where you're saying that you've gotta go. But every time you say that you have to leave, I'm like, "Oh, that means it's time for me to start closing down." Because whenever you say it's time to go, I'm like, "Oh," I always look up at the clock and I'm like, "I've been on a while. I need to I need to stop." But it's usually a few minutes after you say it that I actually see it. So, anyway. So, it looks like Mischief is, getting some cyber coffee for Marilee. I have my can of coffee. Yeah, but anyway. Oh, you're still not a member, Linda? It's fine. You might have to do it on, like, an actual, I mean, you don't have to do it at all, but I'm just saying if you're trying to do it, it might have to be on, like, a laptop or an actual desktop or something. Um, I'll see if I can figure it out on my phone, if I can figure out how to do it, and if so, I'll let you know. I just saw something else and then I missed it. Oh, okay. Marilee says, "I guess we should start calling this the not boat." Yeah, maybe. We are getting quite a bit of lifeboat people on here, so that always makes me happy. Not even necessarily because 'cause they're here with me, but because they're here, like, with each other. I really like that because that was my biggest worry when stuff started going bad with the lifeboat. I thought, "What are they gonna do? These people are so used to, having a big community and everything," and that really worried me. So, if they wanna congregate here, that is, absolutely or perfectly fine. I was reading something as I was talking, so I'm like, I read terrible. So, anyway, Marilee, yeah, saying that they had a terrible incident in the neighborhood last evening, and I'm a bit overwhelmed. Made the news worldwide. Yeah, that was awful. Anytime there's any kind of an incident where somebody is unalived and in a shocking way, and especially in a group setting, it's not okay. I'm really, looking into it a little bit. I might actually do a little bit of a coverage of it. I'm just kinda trying to make sure I do it right and respectfully and everything. I'm not a newscaster. I just wanna, talk about things that I don't know. I'm kinda waiting to see maybe if they come up with a reason for him to have drove into a crowd. So, because that could lead me in a direction if I do something or not. So, yeah, just awful. Absolutely awful. Yeah. So, Indigo Twin, it's always good to see you. Okay, here we go. Linda's going to pop out and figure out the membership. Bless her heart. I still don't know if it's say or sigh. Somebody tell me if it's you know, like the word say or like sigh. I don't know. I don't like to not know how to say somebody's name. Hey, solicitous, I can't even say the word. Nova, so good to see you, and thank you so much for being a mod. You are like I was talking to Mischief about you today, and I said, "Who knew, right, that I would just, really, really like her so much so quickly." I'm not usually like that. I kinda usually, I sit back and I wait a little bit. I might like somebody, but I don't generally just be like, "Oh my god, I just love her. She's amazing," That's what she said, "Good to see you." So, always good to see you. Eric Levitt, I'm sorry, I can say your name, I just can't pronounce anything. I've actually got a friend that lives in Culver City. I need to, get her I don't wanna say it out loud, but I do have a friend that lives there, so I'll have to get with you sometime and see if you know her. You might not. She's very old, like, literally, like, 90 or something, I think. But, you might know some of the family. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I can't wait for everybody to meet Pizza. He seems so, so nice. Once a witness, good to see you. Oh, question, did I see Reese's live stream yesterday? No. I honestly don't watch her. I was told that I ought to watch it, but I didn't. I I don't even think I got any or looked at any. I don't think I even looked at any timestamps. I just didn't. But yeah, I'm interested. I just don't know what's in it, and I don't know if I wanna go watch her or not. Canadian girl, good to see you. Sarah Bowman, good to see you. Kim, hello, good to see you. Uh, you ordered a pizza? Well, I was just telling him that I think my husband's gonna take me out for pizza when this is over. He was like, "Well, how long's your live gonna go?" And I said, "It don't matter. They're open till 10. I won't be going that long." blue cheese on pizza? I think it sounds good, actually. I like blue cheese. I don't like to, like, eat, like, a lot of it, but, like, blue cheese crumbles or something, I think that sounds good. That's what she said's gonna be exercising and listening. Well, aren't you like the little go-getter? Good grief. I'm hearing pineapple. I'm seeing pineapple a few times, and I'm just doing that back to pizza probably, right? Chris 10M, good to see you. Mysterious Mayo, good to see you. James Collins cares, sorry. I know what it says, I don't know. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for popping in to leave a like. I enjoyed the live that you did with Sammy. I really enjoyed that. If you're still here and hear me say that, I really did. Yeah, once a witness Vernon says they had Mike Render's memorial today in Clearwater. I saw that. I mean, man, that is so I realize they may have even had some kind of a private funeral or something. I'm not, like, saying anything bad. I'm just saying, oh my gosh, I feel for the family and friends. I understand they were, like, trying to do this memorial so that a lot of people could come in from all over the place, and that's lovely. I mean, that is absolutely lovely. But to have waited, so long to have this memorial, it's just like, because you know how funerals and memorials and all that are, they're just so difficult. They really are. So, rock it out for life. Kim, good to see you. Yeah, eat more pizza. Happy to know you. Happy to get to know you. Absolutely. Um, yeah, I think Hef's doing fine, Sarah. I haven't talked to her in a few days, but I think she's doing fine. I think she's just, busy. She's just busy. Aw, thank you. Eat more pizza for the gifted memberships. You don't have to do that. Shame on you. But I appreciate it. Thank you. Hey, John, good to see you. Yeah. Angie Wilson, good to see you. Yeah. I think I'm getting close. NJS55, good to see you too. Nikki Hatfield, hello. Kathleen Menzies, good to see you. KP in Arizona, good to see you. Some of these are names I don't recognize. I bet you're here for pizza, huh? Yeah, as if that if he's gonna be that name, he ought to at least find some way to give out pizza cyberly, right? Like we should all just like we should have planned that. We should have all had pizza and all just sat down and ate pizza at the same time. That would have been so cool. Yeah. Tommy's son was in the lifeboat, but he's no longer there. I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't watch it. I haven't watched it in, oh my gosh, months and months. It's been forever since I watched it. Yeah. Lord Kiss Freak, good to see you too. My goodness, there's a lot of you in here today. I told him, I said, I'll be back in 5 minutes, and it's been, oh, about 20 already. Whoops. Sorry. I think, yeah, I'm getting down to the end. Ms. Scorpio Rising, good to see you. Darcy too, good to see you. Oh, thank you. That's very sweet. Yeah, I had to take a YouTube break this weekend, Kim. Me too. Well, I was actually on this weekend, but I have taken a lot of a YouTube break, and we will see how that all works out. Yeah, a big crowd in a small space. Yeah, pizza, thanks. I can already hear my tummy growling, James. Just looking down through here real quick, and then we will get started. I saw that. I saw that, Aftermath Foundation put up a bunch of stuff. They've also got some, billboards around, and they've gotten some signs in the underground, um, train things in England. They're really doing some good stuff right now. That's good. I'll see a name and then I'll be like, "No, I already said hi to them." Ugh, okay. Think I'm almost there. Aw, hold on. I'm just if this person is here in Culver City that's 90, I don't know her, sadly. She is such a sweet, sweet lady. You would really do well to know her. I'll, try to remember where I'll get with you on it. You never know. You might know some of the family is what I'm saying. Okay, y'all. So I am going to first of all, I'm gonna click off of this so that it doesn't hide half of my face and make me feel like I have to like, sit like this. Like stretch that core, right? Stretch that core. So anyway, yeah. I'm gonna try to remember where I was at. But anyway, we are going to welcome Eat More Pizza Now to the stage. And like I said, we are just gonna have a friendly chat. And I'm gonna be letting him talk and I'm gonna be watching the chat for questions. So that's what we're gonna kind of be doing. I'll ask him a few questions too, but it's just gonna be real relaxed. Okay, here we go. Hello. You have brought the crowd, sir.
I know, right? Is there a
I
warrant for my
know.
arrest or something?
I don't know. They're all wanting to see it if there is. They're wanting to be there for it.
Well,
I was like, "Okay."
if you go to your local pizzeria, you tell them that I sent you, and you can get $3 off any large two-topping pizza. They'll look at you like you're
Wow.
crazy, but you can still ask for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I might try that tonight.
yeah. Why
Hey,
not?
there's this guy on the internet, and he said so it has to be
Yeah,
true, right?
yeah.
Because he said it.
And
So,
he's got to be true because he's got annoyed.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
so good
so let's
afternoon
just
and good evening, good
yeah,
morning, everybody. Hi.
yeah, wherever you are, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just tell everybody a little bit about you. Just, kinda start wherever you want. Just, kinda just explain a little bit about who you are, and we will
Okay.
get to know you.
Well, I was born in the summer of love.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember it because I was a newborn. That's what I was told. I get paperwork saying so. Um,
Yeah. I said
my
it's funny they call it the summer of love, but I think it might have been the fall of love that was the
well,
truth.
yeah, from yeah,
The previous fall was pretty
yeah,
loving.
yeah, from the all from all I've
Yeah.
read. Yeah. Let's see. My
Uh,
mother was married already to another man when she met my dad,
mhm.
and got divorced, and they married 3 months before I was born, which was
Wow.
it's appropriate back in the 60s,
Yeah.
1960s. Their relationship didn't work out. They divorced
Aw.
about 5 years later. Final divorce.
Yeah.
We moved around a lot, um, and by just doing the research that I did, just going back on the different places that I lived in. Uh, my 13th birthday, I moved into my 13th address.
Oh, wow.
So there's a lot
Mm.
of, saying goodbye to friends, meeting friends, saying goodbye to friends. Same with teachers, different schools. It was, yeah. When I was younger, I thought that was normal, but as I got into, later in elementary school and saw how other kids were interacting with me, because
Yeah.
I was a new kid, always a new kid
Yeah.
on the playground. It was hard to make friends. Um, One
Mm.
thing that that was always there was just music. You know, I remember listening to music back in the 70s. One
Mhm.
of my fondest memories, and I've told friends about this, was we had lived in a house up in Washington State. We had five very mature trees in the backyard, and I used to love to climb the tree. There was one oak tree that I
Ooh.
would climb up and listen to my radio on, just listen to music, escape, just always escaping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have oak trees here where I
Mhm.
live. We are just surrounded by oak trees, and
Mhm.
I love them. I mean, they're nothing, they're not like fancy trees or anything, but
No, no.
it just means home to me,
Yeah.
just
No, we had a couple of apple trees too, but of course that's Oregon.
Mhm.
So that's Washington. So yeah, we that's
Yeah.
it, it was a requirement. Um,
Aw.
but yeah, I just moved around a lot. And it would have been different if we were like army kids, army brats. We weren't. We were just their mother who was not a good person. And she
Mm.
moved around a lot to escape debtors and rather somewhat paranoid. It's moving, thought people were breaking into the house or always wanted to
Mhm.
get something from her because that was her mindset as well. But
Yeah.
so we grew up with not really trusting a lot of people. Well,
Yeah.
I did, because I want to
Yeah.
make friends until until I'm done wrong, and I'll trust anybody.
Yeah, me
Um,
too, kinda.
yeah.
Yeah, we
So,
moved around a lot when I was a kid too. Not for the same reasons, but my dad was the, foreman on a ranch out in California on the desert,
hmm,
and, so we followed the cattle. So up to the mountains we'd go in the summer, whenever it was too hot on the desert for them, and then back down to the desert we'd come whenever it was too
right.
cold for them in the mountains, and then, like, sometimes you had to move to other locations and, they would lease property and stuff because, they you have to move those cattle around. You can't just have them there constantly grazing the land, you have to kinda have somewhere to go with them every once in a while, so I moved
Hmm,
around a lot, not 13 times in 13 years, but close. I mean,
hmm,
seriously close.
yeah.
And sometimes I would return to the same school, but have been gone so long they wouldn't recognize me. So, I
Right.
understand that. It can be hard, but
Yeah,
it
it
does make
was.
you where you can make friends fast because you have to. You're
Yeah, and,
constantly doing it.
and that's one reason why I think I developed a sense of humor, just to try to blend in
Mhm.
better. My dad had a sense of humor. He's very well known for his humor, and I got
Yeah.
that. Oh, thank God I got that. Um,
Yeah.
but I'm still, because we moved around a lot, I'm still rather bashful, rather shy, very quiet until
Yeah.
until I got to know people. Then I would open up and yeah, just trying to fit in, trying to bring humor into situations, and that's pretty much what I did.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, this
Understand that.
um, I do have uh, when I moved into that 13th address, it was a completely different town.
Uh-huh.
And most of the times when we moved, it was during a place when or a time when we weren't able to say goodbye. Like for instance, on my 13th birthday, that was tough because that was during summer of love. So I changed schools,
Yeah.
so I couldn't say goodbye to any of my schoolmates.
Yeah.
We moved from Washington State to California during Christmas break, so I couldn't say
Oh,
goodbye to
wow.
any of my schoolmates either. But I was able
Mm.
to kind of say goodbye to one of them because he lived across the street. Our
Yeah.
vehicles were all packed up to the brim. That was You wouldn't see anything like that today. You'd get pulled over like the way we were packed up.
Yeah.
But I was able to take my school books over to him and tell him to turn them in. I couldn't tell
Mhm.
him why, but he could see why, and my heart was just shattered, just broken. And at that point, I knew that what we were doing it wasn't right. As
Yeah.
often as we were moving, and
That's so sad.
I was about 10 at the time.
Mhm.
So so that's That's just how it was. Well, one thing about living
Yeah.
in Washington that kind of was kind of odd as well. I got baptized Mormon.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember hearing that actually. I remember you
yeah,
saying that.
yeah. It was opening day for Little League. I was the starting pitcher, 2 innings in. The longer it's been since I played, the better I was.
Mhm.
So I like to say that I had a no hitter going through 2 innings and I got pulled, but I probably gave up like 9 hits and 9 runs in the first inning. Um,
Yeah.
but my mother showed up and pulled me from the game. Like, okay, it's time to get baptized. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Um,
Oh my.
so my brother also got pulled. My older brother got pulled. My sister, we all went down to the LDS church and we all got baptized.
Wow.
Um,
So were you a practicing
no,
Mormon for very long? Or
not at
just
all. Not at all. We did not attend any church prior to that. Afterwards, we did a few, went
I
there a
wonder
few times.
why. I wonder, what
Well,
caused you to, caused your mom to have you be baptized like that.
she's nuts. No, well,
Well,
yeah. It's in the lineage. Lineage. One of
mhm.
my forefathers, great 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 grandfather, was actually on the construction crew of the Mormon Tabernacle.
Oh, really?
I've got several relatives, because I don't know them; they're not family; they're relatives who are
Yeah.
really active in the church in Utah.
Hmm.
My grandparents, my grandfather, my mother's dad was active in the church where he lived with his wife. They were pretty
Yeah.
active in the church, and so I think
So,
it
I mean,
was
that's where it came from, is basically because so it wasn't just
yeah,
completely, like,
yeah. Looking back, it wasn't out of the blue for her, but
yeah,
for us, it
but
was
for
because
you, yeah.
we weren't raised around any religion whatsoever,
Really?
other than from friends and such,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
was
and not a whole
odd.
lot after that either.
Uh, Afterwards, when we moved from Washington to California. There was a stretch where she was I don't experimenting is the wrong word, but that's the only one that I could think of is where she would try different sects. She never tried
Mhm.
Catholicism, but she did try the the Seventh Day.
Really?
Yeah, she did. Um, I don't remember her trying the Jehovah's Witness, but I do remember seeing that Dianetics book on the table once or twice.
Really?
Yeah, they
Man.
had they had a huge campaign going with the commercials and stuff way back in the
Yeah.
late 70s.
Isn't that weird? Because that's, like, basically 2 what are thought to be cults,
Mhm.
that you, like, escaped by a hair, you
Right,
know?
right.
Like, with just a little bit of something different, you could have been, a big part of either one of those.
True, but
That's
uh,
scary.
one thing is well, I like drinking Coke, so there's some caffeine. I like caffeine, and I do like wine.
Yeah.
So certain religions frown upon alcohol.
Yeah,
Um,
I was talking to Mischief about that earlier. I was saying there's a winery not very far from here,
mhm,
and we were there one day, and the guy said, "I gotta go open the Baptist door," and I thought, "Did he say Baptist door, or did he say back door?" And I said, "Did you say Baptist door?" And he said, "Yeah." He said, "I have to open the Baptist door." He said, "The Baptist preacher down the road," he said, "he won't come in the front door. He parks in the neighbor's yard behind me and comes in the back door." And
mhm.
I was just, like, looking at him. He goes, "There's about 3 or 4 from the church that do that." And I was just cracking up. Well, then he says, "I'm Baptist too, and I own the winery." So,
Well,
and here I was, Baptist at the time. I
mhm,
consider myself, not a Baptist anymore. I'm more of a Methodist, if anything.
mhm.
But here I was, little Miss Baptist, Sunday school
Right,
teacher buying wine. But yeah, I'm sorry.
right.
That was just an
No,
offshoot of that
oh,
story.
please, yeah, that's okay. Um, yeah, I didn't start to even to drink because until I was much older, until I was 12.
Mhm. Oh,
That was,
so
oh,
old.
I'm sorry. Yeah, right. I was ancient. I was walking with the cane. No, my dad's dad was a pretty good alcoholic, pretty good drunk,
Oh,
a
yeah.
functional alcoholic.
Mhm.
Um, Man, he wasn't a good person either. I found out later,
Mm.
about the time I turned 18, of what the type of person he was with my aunts and
Oh,
other
yeah.
other individuals, which was that was horrific. I just because I when we moved
That's
back into
awful.
town, I was going over there a lot because I love my grandmother. She taught me how to
Mhm.
make taught me how to make tamales, and I still make tamales.
I do too,
Uh,
I love it.
yeah, oh, I do too. Oh, it's so much fun.
It
Um,
is fun, I love it.
yeah, and but he was always drinking. He was always drinking.
Mhm.
Um, and I once I learned what he was doing, I just like stopped. I'm done
Yeah.
until he passed away. Um, but that's the world became a safer place.
Mhm.
But I'd always one constant was music until I had friends that I've had friends right now for one for about 45 years, one for 40
Oh,
years at
wow.
least, and still I'm because moving around, not knowing how to maintain friends and losing friends and losing making friends and losing friends in schools and stuff, and
Mhm.
you know it was tough, but I'm happy that of the friends that I have. I mean, I've even
Mhm.
got met friends on here on YouTube through this, through
Yeah.
the anti-Scientology sect. Um,
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how I got here because I
To
didn't.
the anti-Scientology sect?
Yeah, I got on YouTube about. I made a channel about 10 years ago.
Mhm.
This one, the Eat More Pizza Now. I was watching a lot of YouTube at work. I mean, on breaks
Mhm.
at work.
Yeah.
Um,
Clarifying that, I
yeah,
see.
yes,
Like
absolutely. And some of them that I watched was a lot of moto vloggers. Snowcat was pretty popular. And they
Yeah.
would do, the moto vloggers, they'd have cameras on their helmets and on their bikes, and they'd ride around and narrate and stuff. And I found it entertaining. Never rode a
Mhm.
motorcycle, but I found it entertaining. But I just wanted to comment on their channels.
Mhm.
Started doing that. And I just it's kind of expanding to different things. The first anti-Scientology channel that I saw that I watched was Mark Edley. Uh,
Was who? I'm sorry.
it was Mark Edley,
Oh, yeah.
Blown for Good.
Yeah.
He was entertaining. Then started watching a lot of growing up in Scientology.
It sounds real weird. I don't know why.
Is it
It's, like,
mine?
pinging. I'm
Oh,
not
I'm
sure
sorry.
why.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's fine now.
I just okay. Um,
Well, it's trying to do it again.
okay. Uh, well, I started watching Mark Edley, and I
Mhm.
started watching Aaron, um, and I watched him for a long time. And he had a moderator, Goldie, who was there for a long time,
Mhm.
and she got outed for reasons.
Yeah.
And one day I was just logged on and saw we had new mods on this channel. Then he made me a moderator. So
Really?
yeah, so I saw
Oh,
that. It's like, oh my god, what do I do? I didn't sign up for this. I'm freaking out. Like, what do I do? I don't know how to moderate. Never moderated before in my life. And
yeah.
at the very beginning, I was horrible. Oh my! I know I was horrible because you just know when you're bad.
Yeah, I'm not good at it. I'm
Yeah.
not good at it. In fact, one lady, I think I'm still her only mod, and I'm like, "Oh, bless her heart. Good thing she doesn't get a lot of trolls, because
Right. Man,
it's that
Aaron did.
SBTV Never In Kelly.
Oh,
I'm her
Kelly.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm her mod, and I sometimes I don't know she's going live, so I'm not there at
Mhm.
all, and then other times I'm just like, "I know I
Oh,
suck at this, but"
okay. Kelly's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah, she's very nice.
she interviewed me a couple of weeks ago, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, but
So
I learned.
won't you tell 'em where you got the name? Because I thought that was an interesting story.
Okay. The name is. I probably had it for about 4 years, yeah, give or take.
Mhm.
My very first job was before the Domino's Noid popped up. I worked at Domino's. I delivered for Domino's Pizza. Um, so I was been around pizza for a long time.
Yeah.
So, in the industry I was in before my current one, I worked and was in a lot of different restaurants, a lot of different pizza places,
Mhm.
complexes and stuff. That guitar picks. No, this is a guitar pick. Ooh. Um, sorry, squirrel. Uh, so during the when the cooties popped
Problem.
out, I'm sorry, when the cooties
I said,
happened,
"No problem."
um, a lot of people were off work, and being around the food service industry that I was, not at that time, but I was around the food service industry for a long time. I knew how bad it was hitting the service industry, the staff, the
Mhm.
waiters, the waitresses, the hostesses, and the pizza delivery drivers. Because
Yeah.
again, I did that for quite a while. So I changed my name to yeah, it's Cooties. I like the Cooties
Yeah.
19. So I changed my name to Eat More Pizza Now to just to kind of, I don't know, bring awareness in
Yeah.
my own little way. Like if you have pizza, you order pizza, you go to a place, order pizza, you're going to help out the pizzerias, especially the local ones,
Mhm.
or the franchisees. To help those people out. And if you order pizza, help out the delivery drivers. They get paid a little bit for the delivery, but they live on tips. I love the tips I got
Mhm.
when I was delivering. I remember some of the dry, my customers,
Oh,
and
yeah.
the ones who didn't pay very well, ones that paid very well, tipped very well. One guy always ordered an onion pizza, which that was fine.
Mhm.
I had delivered one to one house twice in the same night. One guy ordered, he was stoned. I'm sorry, he was under the influence of cannabis.
Fine.
A half hour later, I delivered the same pizza to the same house because his buddy was also under the influence, ordered the same thing.
How funny.
It's still, yeah, they still tip very well, whether they
Aw.
whether they knew it or not. But
Whether yeah, whether they do
yeah,
it or not.
yeah.
Mm.
But I remember that house, remember that address. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was just a lot of fun, and to eat more pizza, just the more you eat
Yeah.
or order
The more
or
it helps.
whatever, however you
Yeah.
do it, it helps. Yeah,
I
and
think I thought that was a really cool, I don't know, I thought that when you told me that, I thought that was a really cool story on how it came up
mhm,
because I was a waitress for years and, put myself through school waiting tables and just,
mhm,
everything, and so I'm very into the food industry, and I've always been a really good tipper because of it. Because I
yeah,
know they just they don't get paid much.
yeah, yeah.
So,
In some states, they get less than minimum wage, and it's made up by on tips,
yeah, where
which
I'm at, we waitresses get paid $2.13 an hour.
ooh,
And then the rest of it, they have to make it up in tips, and they act
mm,
like that they're gonna that they'll make it up for you, but they never do,
no,
they just don't. Well,
no,
it'll average out, but it never does. So
it
you've
never
got to
does.
make yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you got some people that literally still will throw 50 cents down on the table or something, and or a
yeah,
dollar, and it'll be a table of 4, and they'll leave a dollar, and it's just like,
yeah.
"Man,
And the
they
in
like it
the
when we come in."
right in the industry, we know that most of the time, if it's a service issue, it's because of management. It's because
Mhm.
management doesn't have enough staff. Um,
Mhm.
I went to my daughter, youngest daughter, went on a road trip about 10 years ago, which relates to another story. Um, went down to Southern California, and on the way back, she goes, "Dad, I want to go to Hooters." It's like, okay, yeah, we go to Hooters, absolutely. So we did what we had to do,
Mhm.
visiting, let her visit friends. On the way back, we stopped at Hooters in Costa Mesa, California. I think
Mhm.
Eric knows where Costa Mesa is. So it was on Washington's birthday weekend. We went there on a Sunday night. They were busy as hell. They only had one cook, two servers, and a manager, and they were
Mm.
busy. Um, but we went in anyway. It's like we're still gonna support because we're here.
Yeah.
We're still gonna be here. And they eventually got more staff came in. Another cook came in, and they're working bad,
Yeah.
working hard. Service was terrible, but it wasn't because of our server. It wasn't because of the
Mhm.
line cook. It was because management didn't plan for a Sunday of a 3-day weekend.
Mhm.
Just idiot. So, so when we finished up and paid the meal, paid the check, and made sure that our server got a tip, and went over to the bar area and the counter and said, "Got another couple of bucks for the line cook as well." It's like, yeah, make sure he gets this because he's working his ass off.
Mhm.
And they gave it to him. He turned around and he looked at me, and I go, "Yes, yes." And
Yeah.
he appreciated that because they don't typically get part of the tips. But
Yeah.
so
Wow. Wow.
and on the way back um, from that weekend, I'm pretty sure it was that weekend. We heard news that Robin Williams had passed away.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and that hit me hard. That hit my daughter hard as well. That hit me hard because we growing up, I of course looked,
Yeah.
but there are other movies that he was in that just
Oh, yeah.
you know
Like, my I was devastated, but even my daughters were just devastated,
yeah.
you know?
So which was like, and I was thinking about this back in I think it was September, August. I was driving to work one day, and Robin Williams' name just popped in my mind.
Mm.
And for a long time, I'd been writing poetry and stuff, just for me, for therapy. Never thinking I'd
Mhm.
show anybody anything. And I'll get back to that as well. But
Yeah. No, you're fine.
while I was driving to work, his name just popped in my head. Like, wow, I don't know why, but I had to write something about him.
Mhm.
But I didn't want anything to do with him, with his personal life. But
Mhm.
because of the mental illness factor of it, like we don't really know what's going on with anybody. You don't know what's going on up here. Sometimes even if in your own
Mhm.
mind or your mind or friends or family, because you're just going through what you're going through.
Mm.
So I wanted to write something respectful,
Mhm.
and by the time I got to work, about 10 minutes later, I had everything just pretty much written down. By the time I got home, the entire poem was written. So
Mm.
um, I just had to clean it up here and there, but I was happy with it. I was
Yeah,
pretty
you
happy
said
with it.
that, which I mean, I know you write poetry. I have your book.
Oh,
But, but, yeah, I don't know if everybody else knows that you are a poet.
uh,
And you read some on, Brian Lucas's channel, and then
I
he also
did.
read some of yours? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I started writing after my first marriage failed, and I'm the common denominator in all my relationships failing. I know that. Um, I sought
You
therapy.
you could just have a bad picker. It may not be you, it may be you have a bad picker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Sure. Okay. Um, but
Uh,
I saw counseling, and the counselor said recommended a couple of things. One, a particular book, How to Survive the Loss of a Love, which I purchased and I read through, and I have copies, and
mhm.
I've given copies away to people who have
Yeah.
lost, whether it's from somebody passing away or a divorce,
Mhm,
and it's also for people who are doing having a change or they're losing
mhm.
something, whatever it is. It's a loss. It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah,
Loss
a
is
loss
an
of
injury.
something you love.
It's an injury. That's not like
Mhm,
a broken leg. It's but it is because
mhm,
you can see a broken leg, you can see a compound fracture, you can see a bone sticking out, you can see if a leg is
mhm,
turned away and it's where it ought not be turned, but you can't really see it inside here.
mm,
And that's the mental illness part. That's the Robin Williams part. That's the
mhm,
I need help part. And the book really helped. But one of the things that was recommended was when something's on your mind, when you can't sleep, you're waking up in the middle of the night, write it down. So
yeah,
I was doing that, keeping a journal, just the things that were on my mind, going through the day, you know, it, and a lot of stuff that I wrote is gone,
mhm,
just gone on old computers, never to come back.
yeah,
And but I still kept, uh, I tried to keep things organized, keep in my mind. I, Eventually, I got remarried, and unfortunately, that failed as well. Yeah, and
mhm,
both women of whom I married were good people, very good-hearted
mhm,
people. But it was after therapy, knowing that it was because I was moving around so much and made relationships disposable
mhm.
with people who were wonderful people, but it was me.
Yeah,
It was me. It was my mindset.
I can
Um,
understand that.
yeah. But I started writing again, and I kept it. I kept everything I was writing, um, and I never
So
thought
did
in. Sorry.
so did you have anything with you that you wanna read to us?
Oh, I'd be happy to. But
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
never
go
thought.
ahead and finish your
Yeah,
story, but
sure,
yeah.
sure. I never thought any of this would make the light of day.
Mhm,
I just kept it aside. It's like, yeah, one day I won't be around anymore, and if my daughters could crack the code to my computer, good luck. Then they can see what's going on in my mind.
mhm.
So, so yeah, I'd be more than happy to read one. Let's see, uh, this is one that I wrote after my second marriage. It's in the book as well.
Mhm. Mhm.
Both of these, this one, I can read others as well if you'd like.
Mhm.
Um, this was a lot of the writing that I did at that time was done under the influence of something or another.
Mhm.
I do like wine.
Yeah, me
Um,
too.
yeah, I don't overdo it, but there were times when I was just self medicating, if you will.
Mhm.
And this is something I wrote. And so when you're ready,
Yeah, anytime,
okay,
anytime.
okay. I, Chat, I'm sorry. This is a poem I wrote called Calm After the Storm. Excuse me. Yeah, a little bit nervous. Okay.
That's okay. We're all friends here.
Yes, we are friends and family. Okay. Okay. As we sit, we think about each other. Is this a calm between the storms? We sit and ponder. We rationalize. We wonder, what are we doing this for? It wasn't enough to love each other. A promise was made till death do us apart. As the dust settles in this empty soul, was it a lie? Was it from our hearts? Now, I never wanted to lose your lovin'. Forever ended way too soon. I know that it really doesn't matter. There's no longer us. It's me or you. The rain, it washed all the love away. The moon died and took away the rain. No more thunder as the gray goes away. The skies are all calm. The birds can now sing. I still hear your voice as I sit at night, trading my stories with what the voices said. Life's not been the same since we drifted apart. I don't know what I could have done instead. A new dawn will rise eventually. My friends, my family keep promising. The minutes, hours, days, weeks, and years. It takes hard work to keep believing. As I sit, I think I found my way. The shadows appear, frost fades away. What once was frozen has melted away. This is the calm after the storm.
Mm, that's beautiful.
Oh, thank
It
you.
really is. It's very beautiful. Wow. You're
Yeah,
very talented. And to write from the heart is hard.
yeah.
It really is. You're making me cry.
Yeah,
But,
yeah, I was whine and cry. That's pretty much what I did for quite some time.
yeah,
But,
yeah, I can imagine. If it's okay with you, I'm gonna go ahead and go through some of the questions and comments, and then we can go from there.
oh, absolutely,
That way we don't get too far behind.
absolutely. Let's rock. Let's go.
Let's rock and roll, yeah. Okay, let me see what I know how to do this. Good grief, Susie. Okay, Mrs. Scorpio Rising says, question, do we have any demographics for what or are with her viewers? What's the age bracket? Are you talking about for mine or Reese's? Because I don't know. Mine I know. Mine are between 40 and 70, but I don't know about hers. So I'm not sure who we were talking about. Whoops. Oh, it says once a witness Vernon says, was pizza ever in Scientology? Were you ever a Scientologist? But
No,
nope. But his mom
no,
was reading some of it, wasn't she?
yeah. I think that if we were at the time she was reading it, we were living in the projects, government assisted
Uh huh.
housing on welfare. So no, she could not afford to get into Scientology.
Yeah, unless
Uh,
she went in the Sea Org, and then you'd all been in
right,
trouble.
right, right.
Yeah. So, Beeblebrox says, "I'm pretty sure there's a warrant for mine." When you were saying, "Is there a warrant for my arrest?"
Right.
KP in Arizona says, now you've got me craving pizza."
So
Indigo Twin. Oh, go ahead.
pepperoni, pineapple, bacon, and jalapeno. That's my favorite combination. Some people
Mhm.
don't like it. Some people like different toppings. I
My
don't
husband
understand.
would love that. I don't like the pineapple, but the rest of it might be what we're getting tonight.
For me, it's a pineapple adds a little bit of sweetness and it kind of
Yeah.
offsets the jalapeno, which they're a
Yeah.
great
Well,
team.
he can have it on half of
Right.
it. Indigo Twin says, "I don't remember being bored, but I was there allegedly." I like some of the comments, because they'll just sometimes just comment the funniest things.
Hmm.
Beeblebrock says, "One of my fondest memories was when the 70s were over and disco was gone." There's this big thing about disco, I hear.
Yeah.
So Mischief says, "That's sex, people, not sex. Sex." And with my accent, they probably sound exactly the same. So yeah, Indigo says, "Don't send me sex on my phone without permission." See what I mean?
Oh,
Uh,
these people.
yeah. Beeblebrock says, "Just because a family member is something doesn't make you the same," which is very sweet.
Absolutely.
But then it also goes on to say, "Xenu is my semi half cousin, and I'm I'm not a member of Scientology.
Hmm.
Sigh or say. Do you know how which way it's supposed to be? SAI. Is it sigh or say?
I will
No.
say.
Me too, but I don't know. So say says, if I can't afford a decent tip, I can't afford to go out to eat or to order something. True.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kim says that's effed up. 250 is actually here. It's 213. $2.13 an hour.
Hmm.
Amy says I worked at Round Table Pizza and then Pizza Hut. I worked at Pizza Hut. I loved it actually. Mischief Managed worked at Chuck E. Cheese. Oh, bless you. I would not want to work at Chuck E. Cheese. Indigo says that I worked food service. Our state minimum wage is 7.50. I only earned 5.50 an hour and the rest in tips. Minimum wage is supposed to be the minimum you paid to live plus tips is extra. Yeah, I know, but they don't do that. Beeble Brock says, fun fact, Hooters is a galaxy-wide franchise. Minimum wage in Canada is around $15-16 is what Kim says. And working at pizza joints is like, hold on, I'm gonna do it this way. Working at pizza joints is like the one job I worked and kept coming back to for my whole life. Yeah. I
Uh,
liked working at Pizza Hut.
yeah.
Yeah. Amy says that hold on. Me and my mouse are not getting along. So I had no idea. I thought that everybody delivering was getting tipped good. No. I
No.
know that whenever I mean, this has been a good 20 years ago that I actually lived in town. And so we ordered pizza every Friday. Me and the girls, my two daughters, would order pizza. And we always had the same delivery guy. I guess maybe they have like routes or something. Or maybe he was just the only one because it wasn't a very big town. But anyway, bless his heart, he would like we got to where we would talk to him some because he was a young guy and I had two teenage girls and. But anyway, he would tell us that sometimes he didn't get a tip at all. And I'm like, "Man, they need to add that on or something." If it's just crazy. So Amy says I tip extra if the weather is iffy. I do too. Or it's a holiday or I tipped way extra like during the whole COVID thing. I was really
Good.
tipping a lot. Why? Oh, geez, Susie. Um, Keep My Short says sweet shirt pizza. Oh,
Yes.
because he's
Thank you.
good at your shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, Angie Wilson says current or minimum wage in Canada is currently 17.20, which is wow. Yeah, it's night and day from what you got paid back in the day. Dusty Soda Dispenser says hello from Cultwater. He also says I'm hot. I'm thinking that like he's hopefully. I mean, he is kind of attractive, but calling himself hot might
Um,
be a little much.
yeah, I've got a pretty big ego, but Dusty, I wouldn't even call myself hot. No. No.
Maybe he means the temperature. It's pretty warm there,
No.
I think.
Shh.
Uh, Anyway, so here we have Indigo says, from my experiences, it's easier to lie and say you're fine because you'd rather not burden others.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Mischief Managed says, pizza, you're a lot deeper than you let on. Absolutely, right? And he's such a great writer. I mean, that's amazing. Heat My Short says he's sending support to you, pizza. He is such a nice guy. He's Indigo
Well,
says I haven't been married, but it reminds me of my first heartbreak. Yeah. And Say says, thank you for sharing that. It was a privilege to listen to it. It absolutely was, wasn't it? It was absolutely a privilege.
I appreciate that.
And Kim put some hearts up. So We can that's all the starred ones I have right now, so we'll go back to the regular, and you can go on talking, and I'll just go find some more comments.
Okay, okay.
Or you
Um,
can read more, whatever you wanna do, whatever you wanna do, so
um, no, just back on this moderating. I did that for Aaron for almost a year,
Mhm.
and then I just thought that it was time for me to move on. It was
Yeah.
very, very hectic. When there were a lot of times, most of the times when he would do a live, he
Mhm.
wouldn't announce it to us. We had our own moderator, chat, and he was part of it, but rarely did he come on and announce that he was going on live. So
Mhm.
if we one of us found out, we would chat, throw it in the chat. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
Aaron's live. Like, oh my god, okay, I'm driving. It's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
so so am I. But we worked it out. When he was down in LA the first time, oh my god, this I believe there were like 7,000, 8,000 people watching, and the chat was just running by. And I
Mhm.
didn't have the ability to slow down the chat. I didn't have that
Yeah.
authorization, but I was still like
Mhm.
to delete, 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 hide, timeout, 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 try to
Yeah.
comment the best I could. Because when he was live on the streets, rarely did he read the chats. Um,
Yeah.
but there were a lot of times when it was just me and maybe 5,000 people in the watching. So there was a lot of people in the chat, and I learned how to become a moderator at those times. I had a little cheat
Yeah.
sheet that I could go off of with comments and stuff, and just most of the time when he was talking, I
Mhm.
was just, it's not say, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
just reading
sigh.
Sai's comment. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to know. This is, we learn by asking questions.
Mhm.
Um, so,
I hate pronouncing someone's name wrong, so I was like, "I wanna know know because I hate to pronounce
yeah,
their names wrong.
yes. Um, but when there were like 5,000 people watching, 1,000 people, just it seemed like there were 1,000 people in the chat. I learned
Mhm.
how to become a moderator at those times. But the times, so certain subject matters, I could not engage in the chat because I was too busy controlling the chat, so
Yeah.
to speak, moderating the chat.
Yeah.
Just getting rid of the trolls and certain comments that just did not fit.
Mhm.
Um, and I was just so overwhelmed with that. And Aaron does his job. It's his channel. He can, this is
Yeah.
Susie's channel. You do what you want with your channel and such, which is fine.
Mhm.
This is how we do it. This is how you do it. Um,
Yeah.
and I left. I go back occasionally. I was watching him the other night as well. Um,
Mhm.
and I know other of our co-mods have moved on to other things, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Um, I know if there was one channel that I watch when he does his live, and it's not anti-Scientology related, but what he does
Mhm.
every time he goes live, he gets new moderators, so that
Oh,
there's nobody
wow.
nobody in control. Like, okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. That's your channel. You do how you want. But I've not been a
Yeah.
moderator on his channel, and that's fine. Um,
Hmm.
but I become moderators on other channels as well. Just some in the
Mhm.
in the anti-Scientology, some not. Um,
Mhm.
just to keep. I I had to stop and just like move on, like do something else
Mhm.
for a while because the
Yeah.
it's I don't want to say it was like a cultish.
But it
Um,
can be a little bit.
yeah, if you're in, you're in, you're in. There are certain
Yeah.
certain channels that watched at the beginning, but I didn't like their content. So I just stopped
Mhm.
watching. And there's some of them are involved with drama right now, and I never really liked their content. So I can't comment on
Yeah.
what's going on with their stuff. That's their business, and
Yeah.
people still choose to watch them. Well, that's their choice. We all make choices, but I just can't watch their content. I don't want to hear about
Yeah.
certain things.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
certain, yeah. This is
Oh,
this should not be an R-rated community, but sometimes
absolutely.
some people
Yeah.
brought it in, and I don't care for that.
Yeah,
There's
me either.
yeah
Yeah, I got called a prude because I don't like that, and I'm like, "I'm not a prude, I just think it's distasteful."
yeah
I
yeah
I
I
just think it is.
oh, I'm not, believe me, I'm not a prude either. Um,
Yeah.
but if you know if that's what their content is going into it, that's fine. If you know if
Yeah.
their content is changed, if it's evolving into that content, that's different.
Yeah.
Um, but I had to kind of refine myself. And Brian Lucas, a great person, when
Mhm.
he started up his channel last year, um, and he was reading poetry, and I asked him, sent him a message like, "Would you read somebody else's poetry?" He goes, "Absolutely, just send it," and I did. I sent him one of mine that I wrote. While it's called "In the Hospital," and I won't read that. I won't read that right now.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah.
but it was something that I wrote while watching my dad in the hospital, and
Mhm.
he was suffering from um, effects of Parkinson's.
Oh, yeah.
And
Is
after,
it in your is that one in your book?
yes, it is.
I'll
Yes, it
have to
is.
read it.
Yes, it is. So,
Reason enough to buy the book, y'all, reason enough to go buy the book. It's on
well,
Amazon.
I appreciate that. But it was something I was just abstract thoughts of.
Mhm.
I wonder what might be going through his mind
Yeah.
if he were
Yeah.
if he were okay right now. What would be going through his, if he could talk right now? What would be going through his mind?
Mhm.
So
Mm.
Brian read that, and then he read another
Wow.
one, then another one, and after he read a couple of them, he was like, look right in the camera. It's like, dude, we got to talk. It's like, kind of scared me.
Yeah.
Like the next one's like, dude, we really got to talk. So that's when I decided I I put this out on the internet. I
Yeah.
went on his channel and read, and which was, it was kind of scary, just being from really nowhere, just being an anonymous person. There's English person,
Mhm.
and some creators didn't know if Eat More Pizza Now was male or female, so I put David.
Yeah.
Um, but then put this out there, and it
Yeah.
was it was there was a lot of support there. There was a lot of support. Then
Yeah.
somebody in the chat, I think it was Barb, uh, wrote in the chat book. I think it was Barb. She wrote in the chat
Mhm.
book, and I got to
Mhm.
thinking, well, what if, should I make a book? No
Yeah.
one's no one's gonna buy a book,
Hmm.
so I made a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, just for, I had a copy written too. It's something I never thought I would do, but heck, that was something. Just the
I
experience of
bet.
going through that. Then when Brian started, he, someone brought his attention to the Suno website. Suno is a site where you put in lyrics
Mhm.
or a poem and hit like create, and it will put them words to music. It'll create music.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, I'm in a band. I wrote a
Wow.
couple of songs a few years ago because we just do covers, and they were like, "Oh, we need to do originals." Like, yeah, I'll try to write one. So I wrote a couple of songs. They didn't want to do them, but our singer did a demo for one of them. He changed it. I didn't really like how he changed it, but with this Suno app, I put the song in there. And it's like, this is kind of how I wanted it to be. So I
Yeah.
started putting more stuff in there. And then I started writing more music, more songs, and more lyrics, and some of my poems that I published, I put in there.
That's
And
cool.
I just kind of went down this role of like something's on my mind. I could write a song about it. And I did that for a couple of months, for February and March, which was a lot of fun, a lot of work. But it's just like when you go buy an album, you're going to get filler music, and
Yeah.
I felt like I was doing that, so I had to slow down and I had to go back to like, okay, this is why I started writing. I started writing because of thoughts that are on my mind. I don't need to write for anybody else.
Mhm.
I need to write for me, my thoughts, and that's what I started doing again. I just had to
That's
slow
so
down.
cool.
Yeah. So each
So how long has it been that you've been writing poetry? Like, about how many years?
I have poetry saved up for the past 10 years.
Wow.
I
That is really amazing.
I have stuff um that I had beforehand that's long gone, but I have stuff that I have saved. I have some poems that I've started and just stopped. And with the Suno, I was able to go back and finish them, which was
Mhm.
that was wonderful. And
Mhm.
some songs that are incomplete that I could go back and I could complete them. So
Mhm.
yeah, about 10 years.
Mhm.
And I couldn't tell you how many bottles of wine or other substance. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I like my wine. My husband and I, we like to go to the different wineries and, uh, and
Mhm.
get different things.
Yeah, I will.
We'll buy, like, a couple cases at a time because 'cause I'll be like, "I can't decide, I want it all." And I like I like the very dry stuff, and I like the very sweet
Mhm.
stuff. It just depends on what I'm having with it. And
Yeah.
so, my husband only likes the sweet, and so I'm just like for a while, we only bought sweet because I was like, "Well, I like it, he likes it, let's, just get the
Mhm.
sweet." But after a
I
while, I got a little pushy and was like, "Well, I like the dry. I like it all."
I was on vacation last week, for about a week and a half. I went up to visit the family up in Washington State. Yeah, we did some wine tasting, and
Cool.
I left there with a case of wine,
Yeah.
and I
I
will
hear
be
that
having.
Washington's getting some nice wineries. Washington and Oregon both are getting some pretty nice wineries now.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The Syrahs from Washington are good. The
Mhm.
Pinots in Oregon are pretty good.
Mhm. Yeah, because
Um,
my husband and I, when he retires, we're talking about driving out to California and that whole
mhm,
area, driving from Oklahoma and going maybe either the north or south route on the way and then the opposite on the way back, and that way we just kinda make a big circle
mhm.
and hitting all the different wineries. I said, "Well, we can take my car because it's like got 3 rows plus a pretty good thing in the back. We can just lay all the seats down except for mine and his and just pack it with wine."
You don't even have to do that.
So
You can order it. They
yeah.
can ship it to you.
Do you know that they can't ship to Oklahoma?
No kidding.
Oklahoma's we've got 1 dry county, and so they can't ship to the whole state because of that 1 dry county.
Oh my.
Yeah, it
Oh my.
sucks.
Move.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I would in a heartbeat.
Right.
If I could move my family with me, we would be
Mhm.
gone, but my dad, there's no way. He was
Right.
born and raised on this property, and we moved out to California where I was raised.
Mhm.
So, but one my we got word that my grandpa had had a stroke, and so we literally packed up our house one night and moved back to Oklahoma. Like,
Mm.
he got a hold of his the boss at, the owner of the ranch we lived on and he worked for and told him, said, "I'm sorry, but my dad, I got to get there." And
Yeah.
so we packed up everything and moved to Oklahoma. We look like the Beverly Hillbillies moving here, I'm telling you. We had that
Uh,
truck, so we had that like a big old one of those moving van thing, the big trucks, and then we had this
mhm.
ugly, ugly, station wagon with the wood on the sides, and that thing was packed solid, and oh my gosh, we had 5 people in the cab of that truck, and my little brother was I think he was about 10, and he had the skinniest butt, and he was sitting on my lap all the way from California to Oklahoma. Real safe, you know?
Yeah. When we moved from Washington State to California, we used an El Camino with a
Mhm.
trailer, and everything was being held down by a carpet. So
Mm,
I can
goodness.
hunt. I wish I had a cell phone back then. I could have taken a
Oh,
picture of
I
that, but
know. I know.
it really was dangerous. But
Oh, man. Whenever we moved from, out we had this house that we were buying, but we ended up selling it, and, I moved into town because I was gonna get a
mhm,
divorce. So, anyway, I we had to sell the house, and I moved into town. Well, of course, he wasn't gonna help me move, so
mhm,
I moved our entire house in a Ford Ranger pickup.
mm,
And I had, like, a huge, huge sectional couch, and, we had big furniture, and
mhm.
yeah, everybody was like, "Here comes Susie with load number 10," because I was just one load after the other in that little Ranger truck.
Oh
But, yeah,
yeah,
I know how it
yeah.
feels to pack it up. Oh, man. When we would move just through Oklahoma or through California, we would look like what you're talking about, just piled as high as we could and carpet or something thrown over the top of it. So it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. When I moved into this house, and I paid a mover.
Yeah.
It's like, here, you do.
Yeah.
I'm too old to be doing this anymore. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
so I had mentioned earlier that climbing up a tree, listening to music. So, music has always been
Mhm.
part of my life. Different
Yeah.
song because different songs will put you back into where you were
Mhm.
back in 1983 or
Mhm.
2001
Absolutely.
or 1975. Um, so my first job was at Domino's, and
Mhm.
I had a coworker who had this guitar. He just wanted to sell guitar and amp.
Wow.
Really, really inexpensive. Like, it's like $50 for electric guitar and an amp. Really, really inexpensive. But want to learn how to play. Is
Mhm.
all 18-year-olds, 19, 20, 15 year
Oh,
olds,
yeah.
12-year-olds, they want to learn how to play guitar. But I never learned.
Oh my goodness.
A few years later, I got another guitar. It's like, I want to learn how to play. After my first divorce, I bought a brand new guitar, brand new little guitar kit. It's like, okay, I'm going to get this. I'm going to learn how to play on this one because this one has never made a mistake. Any mistakes on it, it's going to be me. Well, never learned how to play on that either.
Oh, no.
Never.
Oh.
Where I work now, about 12 years ago, I'd say about 10 to 12 years ago, I had a coworker who was a guitar player in in a band, a blues band. And I
Mhm.
went and saw him play a couple of times. He was good. He's a singer. They were having fun. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's, you're having fun.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
we're not going to go on tour or anything. Like, yeah, but you're having fun. That's the important thing. He said, "Yeah, dude, just bring your guitar over. We'll just jam. We just practice." Like, okay, I don't know how to play, so went over there, and he's like, "Yeah, this is a decent guitar. And you got to learn how to play." It's like, "Oh, yeah, okay, you're right." So I started taking lessons, which was this is advice for everybody who's ever want to learn how to play guitar or any instrument whatsoever. Uh, the instructor was like, "What song do you want to play?" I don't know. I just want to pick up a guitar and play. It's like, no, there's a reason why you want to play guitar. There's a reason. There's a song that you want to
Mhm.
play. You find that song, learn how to play that song. Okay. So I did. I came up with a song and we're practicing. Then my work schedule changed. So I was working
Mhm.
a different shift. I couldn't practice anymore. It fell apart. So I playing around a little bit. It was fun. Um, I started going to school. Just want to get a degree, a business degree, taking classes online, taking classes on site. It was fun because now I'm paying for school. I better go learn something,
Mhm.
doing something. First, I've been through two marriages and both have failed. I need to do something with my time, so I'm going to school. Then 3 months before my 50th birthday, my very good friend who's a drummer sends me a list of songs. Like,
Hmm.
do you know any of these songs? Yes, I do. I listen to the radio.
Don't think that's what
So
he meant.
it's like, no, idiot. Do you know how to play these songs? Any of these songs? Like, nope. And don't get any ideas. Well, he was throwing a 50th birthday party for me and a couple other guys. One other guy was turning 50 around the same time. Another guy was turning 47, I think it was, at a venue, a bar and grill. He wanted me to play guitar. It's like, oh, God. It's like, okay, talk to the guitar players. You have them pick the song. Give me a easy song to learn. I will learn it. I've got 3 months to learn it. I'll stop going to school so I can practice this one song. Okay. So they got together and they named the song, and I practiced it every day for 3 months. Drove my family crazy because they heard the same thing. They didn't know what I
I
was
bet.
playing. They didn't know why I was playing. They didn't know why because I didn't tell anybody. Um,
Mm,
Finally, it was the night of the event, and my folks showed up. Not my mother because she's not a good person. My dad, my stepmom,
yeah.
my aunts and uncles showed up. It was wonderful. Some friends showed up, and nobody knew what was happening until the third song was playing, which was "Crazy Train" by some guy named Ozzy Osbourne,
Yeah.
and it's been out for a while.
Yeah.
It's, okay, so halfway through, it's like, okay, I'll be right back. Dad, you can't leave yet. Okay, so I get up, I get my guitar on, and I got rid of all my old other guitars. I just want to get a new guitar
Mhm.
and one that never made mistakes before, but one that looked cool. So I got a candy apple red Fender Telecaster, learned how
Wow.
to play Highway to Hell, got up on stage and I played Highway to Hell, and just had a hell of a time doing it. Just played that one song. Afterwards, I turned around to my friend who's a drummer, took the pick I was using, and it just pick drop.
Hmm.
Guitar players, the singer, they're laughing like crazy because I just did a pick drop instead of a mic drop and just walked off stage.
Yeah.
Oh, had such a good time. Shortly after that, I played again. They got rid of their bass player. They made me a bass player. I didn't want it,
Yeah.
but they said, here's a list of songs that he can't play and sing at the same time. You need to learn how to play bass on these. The first one I picked was a Metallica song because why not?
Yeah.
For Whom the Bell Tolls. And that was a lot of
Mhm.
fun. They made me a bass player, and yeah, we just have a good time. We none of us take it seriously. We just have a good time. We need a singer. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we need a singer. We need to practice. Yeah, we need to practice, guys. But we're just having a good time. Just having a good time.
Mhm.
So now I've got this house. It's my practice room. I got
Uh-huh.
drums directly behind me. My buddy bought me a set of drums, so I gave him a guitar that I had, and
Yeah.
I still practice and still play. Just have a good time.
I'm gonna read a few more of the questions and comments real
Oh,
quick.
please
I
do.
keep I go through all of them and then I run back to where I was and mark a bunch more. So, we now know that it is "sigh." You know, it's the second option, not the
Yes.
first one, so it's "sigh." Very good to know. Okay. Indigo says, "Also, per YouTube, they do have some regional restrictions on joining memberships using Apple. So if you're having issues, that could be it." Okay. That one was more for me, I guess.
Hmm.
John, man, she's gonna say everyone's name and skip mine. I said yours, John. I said hello to you. Hello again. Don't cry. Miss Scorpio Rising, eat more pizza. Do you like drinking pina coladas and getting caught in the rain?
That song. It's I heard how it was written. The drummer was drunk as hell. He did the drum
Uh-huh.
track one time. The rest of the drum tracks were horrible. So they took that one drum track and just duplicated it into like 4 different sections.
Mhm.
And yes, I will drink pina coladas while getting caught in the rain. It was raining earlier today in California. So yeah.
Yeah. My favorite thing, I love strawberry pina coladas.
Mm,
They are so good. So Marilee says that Aaron threw a wrench at you, huh?
yes. Yeah.
Marilee said that. Sorry, I said mischief. But Marilee said that, and then mischief said like Susie did us, because that's what I did with them. I'm just like, here, you get a wrench, and you get a wrench.
If you
I'm
see
pretty bad
somebody,
about that.
you see somebody
Mhm.
in the chat that been there for a while and they're not creating an issue.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
what happened.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Angie Wilson says, "I can spin that dough in the air like a real Italian now." Cool. I
Yeah.
can't, which I didn't cook. I waited tables, but my mom was the cook. She could do it.
Hmm.
Mischief said, "Pizza, you're a lot." Oh, I already read that one. You're a lot deeper than she thought.
You can read
Question.
it again.
Yeah. She just said that you're a lot deeper than you thought,
Yeah.
than she
Well,
thought. And
yeah.
you don't have to answer this one, but she did ask where you live now.
Northern California, uh, uh, about an hour north of Sacramento
Mhm.
in the valley.
Lord Kiss Freak says pineapple belongs on pizza. I don't know, on Mark's pizza. He can have it. He can have the
Have you
pineapple part,
have you
which
tried
I like the
pineapple?
mushrooms. No, I
Yeah.
haven't, but I just am not, it just doesn't I don't like to mix my sweet and savories.
If
I'm
you've
really
not
weird about things.
if you've not tried it, then I
Yeah,
I
I
implore you
might
to try
try
it.
it.
Yeah.
I might try it tonight
It
when
won't
he
hurt
gets it on
anything.
there. No, what's one
Yeah.
bite, right?
Yeah. Right.
So Joel says, "Dave, our lives are and were very different, but I think your past has made you a kind and very insight or has made you very kind and insightful. Your poetry is deep and hits hard. Good on you." Aw,
Thank you,
that's
Joel.
big compliments coming from Joel.
Yeah.
He's
Joel's a very good person. Yeah.
Marilee says deep dish pizza. She likes and Lord Kiss Freak says, "I make a mean pizza."
Good. Pizza is
Yeah, I
easy to
saw them
make.
all ago. They didn't know what we were saying when we were saying prude. They thought I said fruit or something. This accent, y'all, I can't help it.
What accent?
Yeah. I don't know. Last night it was funny because I had Ben Bacon Bits on here, and before long he
Oh
was
yeah.
starting to sound Southern. Uh, yeah. Cy says, "I'm struggling to follow what's going on. I have pizza and wings on my brain now." Uh,
Well, I'm having wine in a little bit and tacos.
oh, wow. I love
Yeah.
tacos too.
Yeah.
I like tacos.
Yeah.
That's what she says that I can imagine modding can be stressful, especially for a larger channels with a lot of trolls and then with vertical streaming. Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I haven't done the vertical streaming yet, so Sai says, "I miss Emma. She'll be back this week." Oh, an exclusive. I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, but she'll be back. Yeah.
Edit that out.
Yeah, I'll edit that out. I'm not. Yeah. Obviously, we don't edit things out like we should probably.
Oops.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, Mischief said, "Pizza, how much of your saved stuff made it into the book?"
My book, half of this stuff that I had saved is in the book. The other
Mhm.
half was written within, uh, I'd say it took about 8 months to write the other half before I put it in the book.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mischief says, "You were in Washington and you didn't stop by?"
You weren't home.
Oh, yeah, he came by and you were off gallivanting. Angie Wilson says, "See, I love these segments so much. Been t- been talking to Pizza for a long while and never had a clue about his past and or that he was a mod or that he's a poet. These segments are the best." I think so too. This is my favorite part. It is my absolute favorite part.
Well,
So Indigo says, "It's a goal of mine to learn using my birth mom's guitar. I'd like to learn how to play so I can work with musicians and help write a song." That's cool. That's
yeah.
cool.
There are if you go to learn, there are really a couple of ways to learn. First of all, pick a song that you want to learn. Then you
Mhm.
have to do a little bit of research to see if it's going to be a for a novice or a advanced song. There
Mhm.
are go off a tablature tab tab. It will show you doesn't show you the regular treble clef and the lines. It will show
Mhm.
you the six lines, the number of, and that's where you put your finger. Highly
Yeah.
recommend doing the tablature.
Cool. Marilee says my brother is self-taught and an amazing guitar player. He's teaching for the next 2 weeks. Cool. We
Outstanding.
have so many everybody in my family is not me, everybody but me. Well, and my sister and brother weren't they're not either. Up until us. Up until our generation. They're all very musically inclined. They all like play some kind of an instrument or something
Mhm.
just on my mom's side. And I mean, I've got uncles that have played at the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, it's just, you know, it's
Wow.
crazy. And then you get to me and it's just like gone, nothing there. So, Keep My Short says, I love playing my bass and my guitars. I'm no good, but I love it. And then Lord Kiss Freak says, Steve, I heard you play. You're not as bad. You're not bad at all, brother. People always say they're not good, and then they always are. The ones that say they're not good are the ones that are. But I'm telling the truth. I tried. I took piano lessons. I, tried to play the guitar, nothing. Now my daughters, they taught themselves how to play the guitar. They're not great, but they can play a little,
Good.
but not me.
I I can play Highway to Hell on good. No, I can't. I that was several years ago. I don't even like to hear that song on the radio.
Yeah. Uh, mm, Goodness. Well, it looks like I've actually came to the end of that. So I think if you're okay with it, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. And
Yeah.
I would like to have you back on though.
Oh, absolutely. First, I just want to say one thing, Joel. I do have a Telecaster, a Stratocaster, and a P bass.
Wow.
That my Telecaster is my favorite. Um, I put some hot rails in it, so it screams. She is, yeah, I really love her.
Mhm.
My
Mhm.
my favorite bass is my Schecter. Um, but yeah, that's it. That's the one I play when I'm playing live.
That's so cool. I
But
really
yeah,
do wanna have you on, I really do, and I wanna hear more poetry and everything. We'll,
oh,
like, do a whole thing. I'm you
yeah,
know, I would really like that. Um, I just know that after a while, people this late at night, people start venturing off and, I see that some are leaving, and I know they're interested, they're just gonna catch it on the replay.
okay.
So
Um,
oh, yeah,
just,
this is a good one, though. Marilee says, "Pizza, what is the name of your book?" Thank you, I completely forgot to ask him that. I
oh,
know,
okay.
but he can tell you.
The my book is named Blurred Fences. Yeah. I think I'm reversed here, so I don't think you're reversed. So, light, light,
It's
light,
not wanting
light.
to do it, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah,
Blurred fences. I'm backwards though.
blurred fences.
Yeah. It's from a million miles to sleepless nights, and the reason why it's blurred fences. Ooh, light, light. There we go. For driving as many miles as I've driven in my lifetime, and still got a few more to go. Traveling to and
I
from
see a
work.
lot of that. Mhm,
Yeah. And as a kid, you remember as a kid, you would um, have the window rolled down, put your head out the window, you look at the background, look at the mountains or the houses or whatever, and any fences that were there, they would all be blurry.
mhm,
And sometimes you can't see what's behind the fences if you're
mhm.
looking at the fences. It's
Yeah,
sometimes the stuff that's up close like the fence is blurred because you're looking beyond it.
mhm,
And from a million
that's
miles, I've driven a lot, sleepless nights. A lot of the
mhm.
writings I've done were sleepless. Some when I was working swing shift and graveyard, just hard to sleep, hard to sleep.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Mis M Mi Mischief put your channel in, so
Oh,
You're
very
probably gonna
nice.
get some more subscribers, so
I
but no, I
appreciate that.
really do, I wanna have you on again. Oh, Angie Wilson said, "Just ordered a copy."
Oh, bless your heart. Um,
Yeah.
so just real quick on my channel, I don't really have much content. I do have songs and poetry that I've ran through Suno.
Mhm.
Some there's a list of them, a playlist of my top eight, and
Yeah.
those are a couple of my poems that are in the book are in there. Some of the songs that
Cool.
I put on there, I think came out better than others, and I'll
Yeah.
I'll probably be updating after this. I have one song that I've got ready. I'm just going to publish here in a bit.
Mhm.
So,
Cool. Eat My
but
Short said he just subbed to you, so you got another sub too. Sold a book and got a subscriber already.
so much pressure. I have
Yeah.
been thinking about writing another poetry
Okay.
book. So,
Sai said
yeah.
that they subbed too. So,
Oh,
boy,
wow,
you're
wow, appreciate it.
oh, Eric did too. Yeah,
This is
rolling
a
in.
these are a great community, a lot of great people. I
Isn't it though?
appreciate
I
it.
love it. I do love it. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and let you go, and I'm gonna say goodbye to my chat, and I just appreciate you so much, and I'll be getting a hold of you very soon because I really do wanna do, like, a second part.
Oh, perfect. I'm here.
Yeah, I'd
All
love
right.
to do it and listen to more of your poetry and just, find out more. I just know that, people are gonna start nodding off on the East Coast for sure.
Yeah, I
So,
understand.
anyway,
Ev-
but thank you so much. Thank you so very much for joining us.
And I thank you, and I thank everybody in the chat. You guys are all wonderful and very supportive.
Mhm. Yes, they
And
are. Everybody
uh,
was great.
and
Lord
everybody,
Gisfrey subbed. Yeah, Linda
it
Reese subbed. Man.
keeps yeah, keep smiling, everybody. Just keep
Yeah,
smiling and
yeah,
be safe.
absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
Alright. Thank you. Wasn't he just so sweet? I really, really liked him, y'all. I think that he is a nice guy. I have had some of the best guests, and I have more planned, y'all. I have some more planned for this week and some more coming up even in the next couple of weeks. And so it's, we're just gonna see what lies ahead. But this is my absolute favorite part is the, getting to know people and letting you get to know them too. So we're gonna do a lot more of that. But I'm gonna go ahead and go. I appreciate you all being here. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, have a good night, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Thank you.